In this first video with the worksheet problems, we're just going to be looking at these strict solving problems. It's just going to be an equation, find the values that satisfy the equation. In the next video, we're going to be looking at some of those applications, those word problems. So the first problem we have here is problem 2 part C from worksheet 4.5. We're given that P times the quantity 5P plus 25 is equal to 0. Now real quick before I jump into actually solving this, note that this isn't in fully factored form, right? In that second term, that 5P and 25 have a GCF of 5. So to finish factoring this, you'd actually have to pull that 5 out. Now in this section, that's not what we're focusing on though, right? In this section, we're just trying to solve this. So from here, I have a product of two things equal to 0. So I can use that zero product property, right? I'll use that first part, that P, set it equal to 0. Or I can take the second part, the 5P plus 25, and set that equal to 0. Now the first part's already solved, right? That P equals 0 is one of my solutions. And this 5P plus 25, I can solve that to get that P equals negative 5. So that's going to be my second solution. All right, the next problem that we're looking at is problem 2 part D. Find it right underneath the other one on the page. So for this one, we have 17 times x plus 7 times x plus 3 is equal to 0. So now I have a product of three things that's equal to 0, right? 17 is a thing. The product of three things equal to 0. But the zero product property still applies. And there's a few different ways I can think about that. So the first way is that I can break it into three different objects. 17 is one of the objects, x plus 7 is one of the objects, and x plus 3 is one of the objects. So what I want to do is I want to say when is 17 equal to 0? When is x plus 7 equal to 0? And when is x plus 3 equal to 0? Well, you'll notice that 17 is never equal to 0, so that's not going to give us any more x values. Right, x plus 7, that'll give us an x equals negative 7, and then the x plus 3, that'll give us x equals negative 3. So we're all going to have two solutions here, that negative 7 and negative 3. If it helps you to think through this problem, like maybe that's 17 trying to get it equal to 0, but there being no x values to do that, maybe that's just a little too hard to wrap your brain around. It's totally fine. Let's just go back and break that polynomial then into just two parts. Let's keep that 17 with the x plus 7. So it'll just be one part, set that equal to 0, or I'm going to have x plus 3 equal to 0. Right? And then you can solve this the same way you would a normal linear equation. Right? If we had this 17 out front, you would divide both sides of the equation by 17, and you'd still get right back down to that x plus 7 equals 0, or x plus 3 equals 0. So we'll get down to those same two solutions, negative 7 and negative 3. All right, the third and final part that we're going to look at from this section is problem 3 part E. So for this one, we have 15x squared equals x cubed plus 56x. So again, in order to use that zero product property, first thing we need to do is get the equation equal to 0. So I'm going to move that 15x squared to the other side. So I'll have 0 equals x cubed minus 15x squared plus 56x. So for zero product, I've done the first part, I've made it equal to 0. Now I've got to make it look like a product. So to do that, I'll do that factoring. So the first step, factoring, right? Pull out that greatest common factor. In this case, we can actually pull an x out of all the terms. So I'll have 0 is equal to x times the quantity x squared minus 15x plus 56. So to finish factoring this one, right, I'm looking for something that multiplies to 56 and adds to negative 15. In this case, we're going to end up with negative 7 and negative 8. So if 0 is equal to x times x minus 7 times x minus 8. Okay, now again with that zero product property, any of these three things, right? Now we have truly a product of these three things. You have to separate them all this time. That x minus 7, and that x minus 8. I can have any of them equal to 0. So I have an x equal to 0, x minus 7 equal to 0, or I can have x minus 8 equal to 0. And that's going to give me 3 solutions, right? That x equals 0 is one of my solutions. This middle one here I'll solve to x equals 7. It's another one of my solutions. This one on the right, that x minus 8, that'll give me x equals 8. That's my third solution.